Hello dear friends, welcome. My name is Alexey Ognev, CEO of the DigiU ecosystem. Today we have another webinar. Let's all give a warm welcome to Idar, CEO of the Antipad ecosystem. Hi everyone. Today we have a joint webinar, which is obviously dedicated to the Antipad ecosystem. I will try to give a little introduction now, set the context, how we all ended up together at this point. Those who follow my Facebook or our posts, stories on Instagram and other social media have probably seen that the DigiU ecosystem starts its annual planning for the year with a company-wide strategic session where we define goals, results, and ways to achieve them. And most importantly, to make sure that the entire team understands how they contribute to each process at their level, how content creation, product development, their promotion and implementation in the world impacts the achievement of our overall goal. Obviously, this process yields results every time. That's why, accordingly, we conduct it annually, sometimes twice a year. These intermediate checkpoints are very important. So we had 2 days of very intense work with the team. And therefore, now there is an opportunity for Idar to give us this kind of interview. Because what is the Antipad ecosystem? It's the people who are at the forefront of product creation, at the cutting edge of starting trends, and it's important and useful, at the very least, to hear these trends from those who are actually trying to create products from these trends, to earn money, to realize their potential, to give people a platform where these trends are launched. So, the Antipad ecosystem is quite extensive, and we will talk about that too. And we'll try to figure it out. I might ask some simple questions from my perspective. So, Idar, don't be surprised. So, I suggest we start, and obviously, at the end of this webinar, I will remind you about the latest ecosystem updates. So, if you're watching, be sure to drop your questions in the broadcast chat, in the Telegram chat. We actually answer these questions during the broadcast, because you might be watching this webinar in recording, but during the live broadcast, we are additionally in the chats and will answer questions, including myself, Idar, and the team. So please, write, all questions will be answered. Idar, welcome again. And right away a question to get started, because we need context. What is the Antipad ecosystem right now? Because our audience met you at the year-end webinar. About a month and a half has passed since we recorded it. Start however you see fit, create the context, so we are all on the same page. Yes, thank you, Alexey. Hi everyone again. Overall, the Antipad ecosystem consists of 3 main products. Let's call them directions. These are the Antipad wallet, the Antipad launchpad, the Telegram mini app Capitalist, the game. Before I move on to the specific achievements of each product, I would like to start by summarizing the past year, what we achieved in the previous year overall. Firstly, we formed a strong team, with the help of which we actually implemented all our plans, goals, and achievements that you will now hear about. If we talk about the wallet itself, we reached 44,000 users, specifically active users in the wallet. Several functionalities were launched, such as buying cryptocurrency with fiat currency, the ability to participate in the launchpad by funding the wallet through USDT, directly through the wallet. Virtual cards were tested last year. Regarding the achievements of the launchpad specifically, we conducted 5 sales in the previous year and raised a total of over $200,000 for projects. And we also earned from this as a launchpad platform. We actually found a new business model. specifically as a launchpad. The last sale on our platform was actually conducted with this new business model. This was certainly appreciated by our capitalist game users, as we gave them the opportunity to receive an airdrop for completing social activities. And indeed, more than 1,000 users received quite good rewards from us. I'll say this, it's more than hamster combat paid on average in the market. Another good thing is that we achieve good overall results, specifically with these projects. For example, the AVA sale, which we had on the Launchpad, it successfully got listed. For example, the second project is Plena Finance, which also entered the market, showing 2x, 3x profit. Just like AVA, these are very good results for our platform as a launchpad. The next projects we have are also actively in the final stage. They will be listed soon and show their results. So, speaking generally, the capitalization of the Antipad company as an ecosystem today is estimated at $2.5 million. And the total number of active users we have is 700,000 users. And we continue to grow actively. We have also formed a number of partnerships. We were at the ex-founders bootcamp. We entered into a number of partnerships, such as with Word.io, Axia 8 Ventures. We continue close collaboration with Solana and other players in this market. If we move on to information specifically about each of the products, in the wallet today, we have 44,000 active users. It's a kind of entry point to our products. This allows us to give users the opportunity to more easily enter the Web3 infrastructure. Recently, we launched, for example, the ability to buy cryptocurrency with fiat. That is, our users from all over the world can now buy cryptocurrency using their credit cards. And it's done in just a few clicks in our Telegram-based wallet. We are now actively adding networks, such as Tone, Unit Network, Arbitrum will appear soon. And also Solana, if we talk about a short-term plan from the wallet perspective, where we are going and what it's turning into, right? In the next 6 months, we will show you a new version of our wallet. It will be not only Telegram-based, but will also include a web version. This will open up completely new opportunities for the entire market. We will demonstrate a new approach to onboarding users into Web3. That is, it will become much more interesting, with interesting on-chain activities for rewards. We will provide this in the near future. We are also actively in negotiations with many blockchains, Polygon, Avalanche, and with younger blockchains, for example, Units, Foil. This is all so that we can closely interact with them and give our users the opportunity to explore their ecosystems and have the opportunity to receive rewards for their activity in these networks. Let me lighten up your speech a bit to make it easier for our viewers. Actually, I'm listening and the numbers are growing, and tens of thousands of people, 44,000 in the wallet. This, it seems to me, is putting it mildly a pretty good, even outstanding result for a project that is less than a year old. The ability to purchase cryptocurrency is excellent. And I understand it's all done as simply as possible. For many of our viewers, this is still somewhat of a complexity and a problem. So, if you haven't created an Antipad wallet yet, haven't purchased cryptocurrency yet, or it seemed complicated to you, now it's accessible to everyone who has bank cards, and it's all done in a simple Telegram application. And if we further develop this line, this story, we at least and the users of the DigiU ecosystem spend a lot of time in capitalist. Tell us about it, please. The market was obviously growing last year for all these Telegram applications. That is precisely why capitalist appeared. And that's precisely why Antipad successfully implemented it. There were about 700,000 people, if I remember correctly, in the audience. Then we remember that you mentioned hamster combat. Indeed, IDAR showed me that the airdrop from capitalist was bigger than from hamster combat. This is very cool and it's impressive. And this is precisely thanks to this model that IDAR talked about in previous meetings and now. So, what's happening in capitalist now? Because many people were actually farming points in it, and we ruffled off this box in our bonus centers. So, how are things going there? If we talk about the results, to date just over 640,000 users have registered in this game. In addition, more than 17,000 are our active players. They continue to play more and more every day, earning bucks there and upgrading cards. We did an airdrop from the Mars-based project. So, many of you got the opportunity to receive a tokenized allocation of the Mars-based project. To date, we continue to actively develop it. Of the latest innovations we have made, we have added an AI agent that answers your questions in our chat. That is, you can go to our capitalist chat, ask your questions, tag it with AI Capitalist, and it will answer any question you are interested in. We are constantly searching for the very thing to give users. On the one hand, these innovations that are happening in the market, these trends, and on the other hand, to really have the opportunity to earn from all of this. If we talk about this trend in general, it was in the previous year and was a top trending narrative. Many released similar games like Hamster, Blom, and others. But unfortunately or fortunately, this narrative is somewhat declining compared to such scales, and it remains local. Our immediate goal is to demonstrate, to give the opportunity to dive into a new trend, to combine it with a new, so to speak, trend that we currently have in the market, AI agents. This will be our key task in the near future. And we have already set ourselves the goal to close the season of Capitalist, which lasted for 6 months. And our users, our alpha testers, let's call them that, will receive rewards. I can elaborate a little more on the topic of what AI agents are, what we see, what other AI agents will appear in Capitalist. Am I correct in understanding that the Capitalist AI agent is already working in the Capitalist chat now? Yes. And we will probably attach a link now. Everyone who hasn't joined yet, join, ask questions and get answers, test it. This is important not only for us, but I think for you too. So that's the first thing. Second, obviously, we need to touch on the topic of AI agents because the DigiU ecosystem also has a certain vision since 2019 on how artificial intelligence is being implemented and solves various functions in our lives and improves or somehow differently affects our lives. I think we will talk about this further. About Telegram, there was news recently that there were some restrictions from Telegram related to different blockchains. It would be great actually if you could elaborate on this topic, because we received a lot of questions in chats. Someone reposted news asking questions. What is Antipad's position on this? Because Capitalist and the wallet are in Telegram, what did we encounter and in fact, how did we solve it? How did it affect development? Let's try to outline it somehow. Okay, for those who don't know, Pavel Durov recently announced that other blockchains besides Ton itself cannot closely interact with Telegram, and they need to leave the platform. But after that, we carefully reviewed the documentation, talked to the Ton Foundation team. Firstly, what does the documentation say? That there are basically no problems, that wallets remain in which there are still various networks. For example, we have 5 networks today. In this case, there is one criterion, that the Ton network must be added, which is what we are doing. Secondly, there are various functionalities to make bridges and swaps, that is to exchange one coin for another within this platform. There are also no restrictions on this. There is a restriction on directing users to external sources, for example, giving a user a task to go to some other platform and continue interacting there. This is prohibited. For example, it's prohibited to conduct retro drops in other coins, for example, as other projects that were supported by the Solana ecosystem within Telegram did. This is already becoming prohibited. The main thing for our team, we have formed a direction that we will continue to develop our wallet within Telegram in any case. We are keeping our main features. This is the ability to add new networks, the ability to add bridges, swaps, as well as top-ups, onboarding through top-ups with fiat currencies, and gradually we are looking towards creating a web browser application, which will also allow us not to be limited to working with other networks as well. Well, this is the so-called problem of platform dependency, and it has actually manifested itself. Fortunately, Antipad was developed based on the understanding that such restrictions could exist. Therefore, this did not become some kind of problem that is hindering all development. But this is precisely because a correct strategy was initially chosen. So, that's the position and the answer. And I understand there is also a development plan to expand to other platforms, which overall is actually very right, because Telegram, although it's such a massive messenger, it's far from the only one and far from the most popular if you look at different regions. For example, it's not widely used in the United States of America, Latin America, and not always used in Asia. In general, there are many other browsers. The strategy of expanding to a larger number of platforms to greater accessibility while maintaining these functions that have already been developed and are already used by hundreds of thousands of people is an obvious and correct strategy. Here, I can only agree, support it, and probably immediately recall one of the questions in the DigiU chats when they asked, will there be a Telegram application for DigiU? If we look at this market and at the DigiU ecosystem, what do we see? We see that conditionally in the DigiU ecosystem, in its products, Antipad and the cross-chain data protocol AVA, 2 successful so-called tap-to-earn Telegram applications, have been released since last year. That is, we can say that this exists in the DigiU ecosystem. Will it be implemented specifically under the DigiU brand, and in what form? That's basically what we are working on right now. The point is not to release something when there is no trend and try to spend time and development resources on it. But the point is to increase user convenience. Therefore, something will certainly appear on Telegram. But at the moment when it will be a solution to some next task or next challenge that we are facing, and globally we are looking at something appearing on Telegram, but possibly not like a tap-to-earn game, not like some application where you need to build a structure, but in the form of something obviously related precisely to artificial intelligence, or rather so that artificial intelligence in the form of one AI agent or dozens of AI agents solves one of the tasks of a specific person. For example, how to draw a picture, or how to make money, or how to prepare for an important interview, or something else. This is my answer, probably both about the DigiU Telegram application and about our stance on the AI agent trend. But this is our position formed conditionally over years, because it's now called AI agents. Before it was called something else, in general, artificial intelligence trends. That is, we are somehow in the loop, since we have developed some generative services, try to create agents of influence in social networks that accumulate users right at the right moment, somehow interact. So it's always been difficult, but one way or another there is experience. And how is this trend developing right now? That is, what is currently being called an AI agent, and what does the Antipad ecosystem, broadly speaking, plan to do with it, and how do you feel about it in general? We also need some context, say, from the cutting edge. Essentially, with an Antipad, we have a division called the R&D lab. We keep track of current trends and emerging directions, things that have the potential to take off or are already at the forefront. One of the hottest topics right now is AI agents. In technical terms, an AI agent is autonomous software that performs tasks, makes decisions, and interacts with people and the environment. It's all powered by machine learning, speech recognition, and various LLM models. Recently, AI agents have started actively integrating with blockchain systems, and we are already seeing striking examples. One such project is AI16Z. It's associated with the well-known Andreessen Horowitz fund, though the fund itself claims no direct involvement. So what does this project do? Right now it manages $20 million, making decisions, investing, and handling assets. And its token's market cap has already surpassed $1 billion. The second example is Luna. It's an anime-style AI model that streams non-stop on YouTube. Users can interact with it, send messages, donate money, and receive feedback. That's how it evolves. Another model is IXBT. What does it do? It gathers market data from open sources, social media, news portals, analyzes it, and provides insights. Based on this, predictions can be made. Its market cap is also approaching $2 billion, having already passed the $1 billion mark. So that's the token's market cap. But why does it need a token? This is one of those simple questions I mentioned earlier. For example, an AI agent can predict market volatility, suggest where to allocate assets, or simply entertain users with its appearance and phrases like Luna, where users send donations. But what role does the token play here? It would be great to explain it in a way that makes sense to everyone, while also touching on what Antipad is doing with it. I will explain using our own experience, how we see this whole space and the technology. Why does an AI agent need a token? First and foremost, to make money. Our goal is to capitalize on a growing trend, a narrative that's attracting more liquidity by the day. So, naturally, our aim is to profit from this. Now, looking at the bigger picture, why do these two major technologies, blockchain and artificial intelligence, need to work together? Imagine an AI agent that collects analytical data from social media. Now, picture a second AI agent that can process this data, draw conclusions, and even make predictions based on it. For these agents to exchange value, cryptocurrency steps in. Each has its own wallet and can manage it. One AI agent can send crypto to another in exchange for valuable insights. Meanwhile, the owners of these AI agents profit because their agents generate value and earn revenue. I think that's pretty clear. The real question is, where do we go from here? Obviously, some tokens and AI agents fall into the meme token category. Others are backed by real products with long-term utility, right? But how do we tell them apart? And does it even matter? What are the trends saying? Everywhere you look, you see meme tokens. Trump tokens, all sorts of hype coins. Some people bet on them, while others focus on real utility. So, should we even separate them? Good question. Right now, there are AI agents that are essentially just meme coins. We all know meme coins are more about ideology and hype rather than actual products. Investors don't really expect a functional product behind them. AI, on the other hand, has slightly higher expectations. People assume there is some real tech behind it. The market is splitting into two camps. Those who slap AI onto their projects just to pump and attract liquidity, and those actually building something, creating AI agents that generate real revenue for token holders. Interesting. So, for our audience, if you are hunting for meme tokens, trust me, you will find them. They are probably looking for you too. But if you're interested in the tech side, ask the right questions. Where is the product? What does it do? What is the long-term model? If you want a serious investment, look for something with real technological value. Learn to tell the difference, because we are going to see more and more of this. So, to revisit the topic of Antipad, what are the plans and timeline for seeing AI agent-related features? Will it be something like Capitalist, launching our own AI agents, or perhaps a platform? Besides, how does the Antipad ecosystem plan to leverage this trend? Okay, so firstly, as I mentioned, we have an AI agent that responds in the chat. Obviously, this AI agent, which simply replies in the chat, doesn't need a token. We're looking at this from a functional perspective. Secondly, we are developing an AI agent that will manage social media, primarily for a capitalist. Then, if we see that it's working, we will streamline the processes and scale it to our other products. It's likely that this kind of AI agent wouldn't necessarily need a token either. We are looking a bit further ahead at what we are creating today within the lab. Let's put it simply. Imagine that in order to buy an asset with a goal of making a profit, we first need to gather data, analyze everything, study the players in the market, and figure out which direction a particular asset will move. And accordingly, place a bet, invest, and then exit that asset. We are currently actively working with a large blockchain platform. I can't disclose the name yet, but it provides huge databases of on-chain transactions. For example, we receive a large dataset. Our AI agent processes this data and, based on various mathematical calculations, builds certain forecasts. We receive these forecasts, we can invest money in them, test them, and get results. So, this will have its own token too. Yes, in this case, a token is necessary. Processing large datasets requires computing power and servers. Got it. So it's basically a financing tool, and if this solution delivers a high-quality product, others will want to interact with it, meaning they will need a way to exchange value, right? Exactly, and that's where we generate revenue, by providing these services. Many users can connect and access these forecasts. So, to put it simply, for the user, it's like having an expert powered by artificial intelligence that provides recommendations for buying a particular asset. And the higher the accuracy of its predictions, the more a person can earn from it. Is that correct? Yes, exactly. And you have mentioned this before, but I'm talking about a unified approach for the ecosystem and the products that emerge from the DigiU ecosystem. Idar mentioned a partnership with a large analytical platform. I understand who he is referring to and why we can't reveal everything yet. But there's one development method that is applied across all products born within the DigiU ecosystem, for example, the fund and others. That is to immediately reach out to the market leaders and collaborate with them, and not just with regional leaders, but with the top ones. That's how Ava is developing. Boris and I recently discussed this topic, and how we collaborate with major leaders who are the best in something, and we find common ground with them. That's how the fund is developing. That's how the Antipad ecosystem is developing. So, if we release a product, we release it as a high quality and as user-friendly as possible for anyone. So, when can we expect the product? You don't have to make any big announcements right now, but roughly, in which quarter of which year will we see the AI agent? I mean, besides the one that's already working, the social media agent. When will the actual recommendation AI agent be ready? It will be ready in the first quarter of this year. We can't afford to be late on this. I mean, this is a trend that is actively gaining momentum right now, and accordingly, this is the best time for us to be at the center of this trend. Okay, I think that's more than enough information. If you want more, first of all, go to the Capitalist chat and ask your questions there. Secondly, subscribe to our social media. Idar, maybe you have your own personal social media accounts where you share things and people should follow you. Maybe Twitter? I don't know. I'm just asking. Not yet, but I plan to start one this year. Great. Everyone, stay tuned for updates. We have this characteristic that we are deeply embedded in the market, and we don't just read, watch, and study. We actually create things. Sometimes we make mistakes, sometimes we get it right, and sometimes we do really well. So what's the advantage of these webinars? Idar just shared his insights, got some satisfaction from it, and now he's going to go back to work. And you heard this information before 99% of the world's population. So I urge you to process this information and think about how you can use it for your own benefit. because everything is naturally tested and implemented within the DigiU ecosystem. Soon, I think you will see something from us related to AI agents or influencers. It's already being gradually implemented in our technical support. In short, it's going to be an interesting year, and the market has, as it were, already turned towards artificial intelligence. That's great. Aidar, perhaps you have something more to add. I would probably like to add a small comment. Regarding the Antipad ecosystem, everything we do is deeply connected to blockchain. But if you recall the cyclical nature, we experience growth and decline year after year. I would like to offer some words of encouragement. We are clearly in a bull trend right now. If you look at the news that's coming out, for example, Trump launching his own token or a Dodge department being created in America, it's called the Department of Government Efficiency. But it's nevertheless connected to the Dodge token. It's clearly necessary to pay special attention and make an effort to take advantage of this market, have opportunities, and feel secure in the next cycle. Everything repeats itself, and that's why we are actively looking at testing and launching new products so we can be at the center of events, be ahead of the curve, and deliver results this very year. Our task at the DigiU ecosystem is to provide all the support we can with users, technology, and resources. That's why Alexander E. and all the founders always urge you to contribute. Go and like a post, share it, write a comment. It's important and it's all taken into account. Partly based on this model, we are now finalizing the process of creating a personalized course on buybacks. And very soon, in mid-February, these will appear in your DigiU ecosystem account. That's what I wanted to say, so stay tuned for updates. A kind of rating system is being developed which tracks your interaction with the ecosystem and its products, and accordingly ours. And anyone who contributes to this rating in any way receives a certain score. This is always a plus for the user for performing certain actions. And as Aidar said, the market is growing. We see it. Obviously, everyone sees it. And what's good about the ecosystem approach? It's that there are teams of professionals, which we are constantly strengthening, who are expanding their areas of influence in their respective fields, finding products, earning, exchanging, supporting, and so on. Another project in the current market is the Solana Validators project. And based on the results of January, we had a test period where we refined this model. Firstly, the launch model. Secondly, the offer to the client, going through all the stages of selection, signing contracts. We already have the first paid validators, and in the next few days, they will appear in the testnet. The product is simple in terms of its business model, but how should it be perceived? I don't even know how to put it correctly. Firstly, for the ecosystem, it's an opportunity to earn from this trend in partnership with Solana, a top-tier blockchain. Secondly, these are fairly long-term models. It's when we see, for example, that in the first year, a mainnet validator can bring in 200 to 300 Solana tokens. And at a token price of $300, that's $60,000. At a token price of $600, that's $120,000. Basically, the business model is clear. The economic potential is clear. The market is growing. So I want to emphasize this product to the audience once again. Because places are limited, we plan to raise only 1,000 validators, and Solana itself has a limited number, so we plan to be there with 1,000 validators and hope to make it. So if you were thinking, hesitating, then apply. You will be contacted. The process is not very fast. It depends not only on us, but also on you. So submit an application, take the survey, make your payment, and within the next year you will already be receiving profits. Calculate everything. For those who are thinking, reflecting, we are conducting a snapshot, using the established mechanism in which one validator owned by the DigiU ecosystem, and which will go to mainnet. 50% of the income will be received by all those who participate in this snapshot. The first stage of the snapshot runs until February 15th, and the second stage until the end of February. Evaluate the approach. A minimum of $30,000 is the bonus you will receive during the year of operation of this validator. And if the token grows, even more. Therefore, participate in the snapshot. Pay for shares of the DigiU ecosystem. And I strongly urge you to apply for a validator, to have in your family the product that can create capital for you for many decades. It will bring you both passive income and be a financial foundation that I recommend everyone have. We thank IDAR for today's meeting. Once again, I remind you that during the webinar broadcast, we are in the broadcast chats and in the Telegram chats. Drop your questions. We will answer them. IDAR, thank you very much. Thank you, Alexey. Thank you all. See you later. Goodbye.